you get to a pin situation, it's like, you know, being able to know how to get all 1,500 of these motherfuckers off their feet, or knowing that, oh, if I say this, they gonna say that, or when I do this, they gonna do that. The lock pick the door, I point at the crowd. They were, you know what I mean? Like, all that's technicals and shit that you add in the battle rap. That's other capabilities outside of a pin, outside of a stage. That's called know-how. So every time, like, it's like somebody's breaking, well 2-1 JC, Surf only got the stage, or 2-1 Surf's, because Surf got the stage. It's like, Surf do a lot of other shit outside of just this. If Twerk just looked like stage to you, or John just looked like stage to you, you don't understand battle rap. I got this shit figured out.
I think real quick, I just want to answer. So it's not necessarily just like, I think the thing that is the disconnect is each particular battle in either environment requires a battler, because like what we look for in a small room battle is what is different from what we look for on a big stage. Sure. So that is why we kind of preface certain stuff with like, oh, this person has a stage, okay, he's probably probably in a better case of winning, because at the end of the day, someone like a JC is better at this point in time. He like J Smo said, to me, he's honestly performing better on a big stage because he knows how to cater now. Another great pen, i.e. like a Chilla Jones or whatever, knows that in a small room, it's about pinning the best shit. It's not necessarily about what they catch, because in a small room, the beauty of it is catching stuff on the watch back. In that particular moment, a lot of people don't have the ability to know what's going to hit and what's not on a big stage. So I think that's where the separation comes in. It's like, it's predicated on environment, and each environment entails a different type of reaction or a different way we look at a battle. You know, in general, like if I'm watching Daylight in a small room, I'm gonna obviously pay more attention than me watching him on a big stage, even though he's the same type of battler. I know on a big stage there's a possibility that he's gonna do something crazy or cater his bars to where it's a little bit more easier to digest.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of situation.
1,000%. I just feel like I said, I feel like the point count factor be different, right? So let's say like you got like me and Rock, you know what I mean? Like let's just say like AMG mode type niggas, like, so our punch count is different. So if Rock like and he's saying like 15 different things, it's some people that judge that 15 thing as like one whole little soliloquy, like they just waiting for the last thing. Meanwhile, he punching in between, like I don't flat back like a white bitch, like that shit he's saying to Twerk, like you gotta go in between, like those are punches all in between there. To whereas a writer just gotta land a heavy punch that correlates.
My thing with a battle like this is when I hear the fans, and it's like there's no right or wrong answer. You could pick who you want to pick as a fan.
Facts.
You can pick off preference, you know what I'm saying? You can pick off like what you feel like in the, like, you know what I mean? You can pick whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? But what I get sometimes with the fans, where I think, or even just other battlers sometimes too, when you at this level, like the level niggas is at, like, you know what I'm saying? I think motherfuckers forget, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Surf, JC, these niggas is at the top level of battle rap. So though everybody got different things that they do that they good at, motherfuckers can do, the top level niggas can pretty much do anything and everything up there. You dig what I'm saying? Just because they don't do it don't mean they can't do it. You know, it's like you see a nigga like JC, like he said, who at this point, of course, he known for rapping his bars slower, getting into haymaker pockets. But if you don't think JC can speed up the punch and land at a,
then you crazy.
Then you crazy. So you like, so for me, I think that's what makes this battle a good battle, because you really don't. They both are gonna come at each other different than they done came at they last. You're not finna get the same Surf that you got versus Cortez for JC, just like you're not gonna get the same JC that you got for his last battle versus Surf. Like they finna. This is Summer Madness. These niggas is finna come at the level that they supposed to come at. You dig what I'm saying? So you gotta look at all the unexpected things. Like when you seen None up there versus Danny, like that was his first time on a Gnome, and now he rocking and doing rebuttals. Like if any other time you wouldn't have thought, not saying he couldn't do them, but you wouldn't have thought he would have been able to beat a Danny Myers or come close to beating a Danny Myers or something like that a year ago. You feel me? But when you get them opportunities, niggas live up to that hype. So sometimes I think people forget about that. You know
some of the explanations be blasphemous. Like a nigga make a statement like, yeah, nigga a superstar. That superstar power shit ain't gonna work. In any sport you go to, whether a person's popular or not, they're a superstar because of what they did in the sport, not because of niggas just fuck with them. Ain't no superstars that's ass. That's not the way that work. So a nigga like, yeah, nah, he a superstar. That shit don't work. Nigga, I got here off of foot to ass. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, this a real grudge match. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Outside of EFB Guntitles, just the fact that they've been having they back and forth personally for years on rankings and shit talking and all of that. This is what that's what made the battle the main event. You dig what I'm
That's
saying?
why niggas
The grudge,
like my thing is you listen for the conversation. Like I'm listening, I want to hear what JC like. That's why I make the jokes about the whole like just random punches. I don't want to hear that. What do you got to say? Like same thing I said with Core. You hear now? What do you got to say to me? Like I'm not crediting you. I get it. Like if a punch is retarded, it's retarded. But talk to me about it. Don't say some shit that just can't. You know what I mean? That can't go for anybody. Like it's that
because that's
toxic
where
love.
that's what got me as far as like with JC. I understand like he knows he's seen it. Like you said, we seen John in the grudge match. We seen Core in the grudge match. For the fans and for the most part, what we both realized is they took that time for those battles, but they didn't hit the points that the fans wanted to hit. You dig what I'm saying? Like, okay, y'all had a long time, a grudge, and y'all supposed to talk about certain shit and say certain shit that we thought that you had on your chest or something. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And you came in there and kind of just rapped about different shit. And then you hitting points and rebuttaling points before they get to him. You dig what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, he gave us the side that we wanted to hear. They didn't bring it back. You dig what I'm saying? So
I was gonna say
I think he got that kind of ring IQ to know like, nah, I gotta touch certain points in order for like you said, I gotta have that conversation. It's a reason why motherfuckers want to see it. So talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you. My bad for I'm lagging over here, but
cut me off. Go ahead,
I was gonna say like, because I'm gonna keep it a buck. I know here, but I had JC 2-1 before. I got JC 2-1 now, but I think it's the closest battle that I personally have ever predicted. And I'm actually really glad you said that, Geechi, about the unpredictability and all of that stuff that we might not necessarily look at is going to be maybe the things that are going to win this battle one way or the other. I think this battle is going, if I could have a debatable, this would be it. Like I could pick a clear winner between everybody else in this card, but this would be it. But we, you know what I'm saying? We got to pick a winner. So I'm leaning towards JC. But for me, I'm looking at specific battles and seeing what are some avenues I think, some tactics, some tools that they have in the toolkits that they could use here. So I'm actually glad Geechi here because I think a lot of the material or the type of approach that JC used when he battled Geechi, not the material, but kind of the overall structure where you talk about what you got to say to Surf. JC was having crazy punches, but a lot of it was very tailored to Geechi in that environment. You look at the DNA performance. We talked about that a couple times, but like that first, second, third, that whole time. I mean, obviously DNA left Earth in the first, but like second round, third round, JC going around, JC walking across the stage, picking up the champagne bottle, walking around. It just
that was great stage IQ.
That's perfect. Like it's one of those things where
I like those
like it's one of those I think intangible things. Like I said, I think it's like 51, like 49 for me personally, because like these are two of my absolute favorites. So, but like I gotta stay 10 tones down. I said JC before. I'm gonna say JC now. But I do think that there are a lot of unexpected things that JC can do in terms of approaches that will be very effective. But I also think the same is for Surf. Like I think Surf about to wow out. Like, and I just think that this is going to be an incredible. I don't see. I think Jay said it earlier. I don't see David versus Goliath here in any way. I see. Titans. I see heavyweight.
I hate that whole narrative because anybody that start off with the David versus Goliath narrative, you already know where they lean towards. You know what I mean? And it's like when people judge that like that, because you gotta understand, a nigga got a job to do. Excuse me. 9 times out of 10 when we on his spaces, I'm on Surf, Guntitles time and shit like that. But when we talking about battle rap, actually doing the job, JC is one of the more well put together pens and writers in this motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? Right. So now when you create the narrative of, JC has to surpass and has to get up this big hill. If he gets to the top of the stairs, he rock it. When you create that narrative, it makes it easier for JC to win because now he just got to come in this bitch and shake it a little bit. But these is two titans. Like you have to take this from, like, you know what I mean? Like Geechi pull up, like when Geechi pull up and he like we banging heads. You get what I'm saying? Like this is elite level. Like, come on, bro. I would not, niggas know my body. I've been here for years. JC would not be here if this wasn't big stage, main level. Check my resume. I don't got no mid-tier niggas on my resume. I don't got no low-tier niggas on my resume. My whole resume, check it.
You got one. You got one.
He's dead. He's dead. He didn't live after that. He's dead. Where his careers go after that? You talking about bricks? He's dead. I have all legends on my resume. He's not supposed to.
Serve, to your point, bro. It's like that's what I'm like. I hate that narrative too, because that when you create that narrative, Dave versus Goliath, that's implying that JC already doesn't have the tools to win already, which is not true. We all know what JC is. We all know what.
So
I don't think.
So when he do anything, so when he do certain things, it's
Facts.
like don't create a wow factor in your mind as if like he's David versus Goliath. How?